Chapter 6, From the Heart of Cheryl Elizabeth. So here I am walking about the streets of the city in which I live. I found myself exploring the great feeling of the city that I longed for as a child. I wanted to go up elevators and escalators. I wanted to ride the buses and the taxis. I wanted to know the city as if I was part of the concrete. I knew of the trees that lined some streets, but I had my fill of trees growing up. I wanted to see the hardened core. I was raised with beauty and laughter and love that was endless. I was raised the best that anyone could be. I was smart, but I didn't show it. I just passed my grades wanting to almost fail, for I had set the pace at a young age. Just like the wealthy pretending to be the poverty, I was the smart pretending to be the dumb. I pulled it off. Why would I do that? Why, when I had the answers for a test, I would just not bother to write it out? Why, when I was presented a quiz to circle the right answer, I purposely circled the incorrect answer? I was the wealthy wanting to be someone else. I was the smart girl. I was the dumb girl. I was the girl that had self-respect, and yet I was the girl that could throw away my self-respect in a moment's time. I fooled everyone. I fooled everyone. For isn't it easy to fool a fool? But isn't it fun that the fool isn't foolish? That the fool is smarter than the one trying to fool the fool? That was me, and that kept me alive on the streets. The fascinating part of the streets is the people. Truly, people of all kinds. Kind people, nasty people, grateful people, and just the beat up by life people. The angry, just like myself, wanting to rebel in the world of rebellion. Wanting to fit in and yet so apart from the real world, wanting to know how far it can be pushed. How far did I push? Truly, more than I was capable of. The whole time on the streets called me into the depths of the agony of others. It also brought me to a place of pure peace. How can that be? A place of peace in such destruction. A place of peace among the unpeaceful souls. Poverty brings about great anger. Perhaps that is why it called me. Not being poor called me, for I truly loved money and what it could buy. I loved using people that had money. I felt entitled to someone else's money, for if they were stupid enough to flash around money where it isn't found, they needed to know why that shouldn't be rewarded. The streets are funny, meaning even though many live in poverty, many live in the harshness of the judgment. Many live so strung out on the street jugs that always had the possibility to end a life. It was easy to see the rich drive by in their fancy cars, looking at the people crumpled up, just trying to stay alive. It was almost like a show, like going to the movies. Let's take a look downtown and see the streets lined in characters. It was the rich that observed the poor, far greater than the poor observing the poor, or the rich for that matter. For you could be poor and be the top dog. You could be rich in a fancy car and spat at. Not a top dog, just a dog. Just someone showing off, looking to seek the vulnerable. What makes people do what they do? Why would someone inject themselves with dirty, filthy needles that perhaps would end a life? Most likely to end the life. Most likely in hopes for a change. Most likely to call out for the destruction to end. For why would one inject one's body with a drug so harsh, the side effects not even human? Who makes the drugs? Have you pondered? Who creates the drugs to destroy life itself, to destroy and to cripple another? Why would one create something that, when injected, could end a life in extreme pain? And why would one try it? The answer truly is held in the person. Why did I choose drugs? Why, when I had a daughter to raise, a mom and dad that loved me beyond any love? For what I put them through would be forgiveness on their part of the highest level. I am hoping that one day my daughter will find within the deepest sense of forgiveness. For why would I choose a life filled with drugs and not be a mom like my mom was to me? Looking back, I understand that I must have been hated at times, not understood at times, and I don't want sympathy. I'm asking for non-judgment, if that is at all possible. For to walk in another's shoes takes walking in the other's shoes. I couldn't have walked in my daughter's shoes, and she couldn't have walked in mine. But we wanted to walk together. We found a way to be together. Now, remember, I didn't live on the streets my adult lifetime. I lived on the streets long enough for the grandest contrast of love and hate I could find. Once away from the streets, I found a place to settle down. But drugs call in the middle of the anger. Drugs call in the depths of anguish. Drugs call as you beat yourself up for taking them in the first place. Angry at the creation of the drugs, the war, the violence, and the anger is to understand that it lives within. Anger goes away with one shot, one needle, endless amounts of harsh alcohol. Anger goes away for only one moment, and then it comes back with a vengeance, just like the drug itself. Relief for a short time, the sense of panic for the relief before having it, the sense of complete loss and sorrow, and those words don't even come close. Who creates the street drugs? Is it for money? Is it for power? Is it to fuck up mankind? To kill off the vulnerable? What a way to find the contrast, for the anger is replaced with euphoric senses. The feeling of being free for a moment is worth the gamble for life itself. I say freeing, but truly it is such a trap that many don't get out of without death. I was lucky, or perhaps I was stupid, but far greater than that, I was a soul lost and found. When you hit bottom, you know it. And when you are a drug addict and you hit bottom, you dig some more, for you truly can't get your own grave deep enough. Why? That is why I'm writing this book, to try and explain why.